Hello, and welcome to the Week 5 update for the Dragon's Tavern. This week we had 14 commits plus a couple from last week, a couple of cleanup items from 4 contributors, which brings our total contributors to 7 and our total commit count to 114, and we are just about at the 50% mark of the project. This week, Tyler went in and added a coin purse model and textures, as well as added the coin models and textures into the game, so we'll take a look at that here in just a minute. And then Luis came in and added the Vicious Might card, which we'll see on the next slide, which looks really cool. And then Ian went through and updated the anchors on the scroll view for the hub area. And then I went through and added the card sets for 3 and 4, and then got those cards in sets 3 and 4 to be functional. Fixed a couple of text problems so that way all the cards can now fit, all the card text can now fit into the card. And then a work in progress is trying to move the cards from the player side to the opponent's side or from the player side over into the graveyard. I'm still working on how to lerp things, so that's still a work in progress. So here is the Vicious Might card from Luis, and it looks really cool. It's a tiger on a black background, and I've got no idea how we did it. It just looks amazing. And now let's pop on over to the demo. So first let's look at the hub area that Ian knocked out. So here we're seeing what Ian worked on this week, where if we press the play button here, we have a scrollable bar at the bottom where we can see all of the cards that we have available here, and if you hover over them, then they pop up on the left-hand side right over there. So that is coming along very nicely for building our deck, and if we press the play button here, then we are back into our game, where we added a couple of cards this week. So like we have the Clumsy Skeleton here, and we also have more complex spell cards. So like this one is drawing 2 cards. So once you play that, then the player will get 2 cards. So we're going to probably have to put a limit on how many certain cards a player can have in their deck, but that is a future us problem. Next, I want to take a look at what Tyler worked on this week. So here is the coin purse model that he worked on, along with all the texturing, and that looks really cool, as well as the coins and the tokens that he put in, which is really, really cool. And you can see the bump textures on there as well. So that's just an amazing job by Tyler. So that is all of the in-game elements that we have. That's fairly easy to showcase. Now let's pop on over to the Trello. So this week I was struggling quite a bit on getting the cards to animate, but then I realized that that was a lower tiered item on the to-do list, so I shoved that back a couple of weeks, and instead we're going to spend this week trying to make sure that the opponent can play their hands, because if the opponent can't play, then the animations don't really matter. So that's my new priority, as well as getting some card art into the game and creating a tutorial for how to play. That can either be through a pause menu in the game itself, or that could be like in the main menu. We also want to get a new build uploaded on itch and do some preliminary testing and some bug fixes. So that is our weekly update for the Dragon's Tavern.